So it was called the Giraffe. So I decided I'm going to go to local junior college and develop myself and get a scholarship. So the second year I'm there, I researched. By the time I was there, I trained, researched everything I could. I was 6'5", about 230. So I gained a bunch of weight in 2 years. I kept growing, and I was on every recruiting list for Division I football schools. And it was the second game of the season, and I was very excited. The stands were filled. It was that fall air. I don't know if you guys, who's from the Midwest or been there, but you know, the changing of the season. You could just smell it. I was so excited because in the stands were scouts, scouting me, some other players on the team. And I was like, here's my chance. So it was the first quarter. I get in the huddle, quarterback nods, gives me my play. I was very excited because this is a play. If you catch the ball behind the linebackers, you're wide open. So I get off the line, I turn, reach, ball in my hand, hear the crowd just roar, and then bang. The next thing you know, I'm face down on the grass. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm pulling the grass out of my face mask, and I feel this radiating pain going down my leg. I just tore my hamstring. So they helped me off the field. I look over to the left. There are the scouts writing in their book. I felt like all the time I put in was just wasted, and it was done. Youth was on my side. Luckily, after about 7 weeks of rehab, I was able to play in our playoff game at the end of the season. I got through it. Wasn't 100%, but I did get a Division I football scholarship. Now, it wasn't a Michigan or Ohio. It was the Western Michigan in Kalamazoo. Still a Division I school, a good school. So I go off to Western Michigan. I'm excited. I'm going up the ladder of my success. I'm going what I think I should be doing, what I committed to since I was 13 years old. I get to Western Michigan, settling in as a junior college player. You're expected to play right away. And you're not always welcome. It's like the new kid on the block. It's like you're showing up there to take someone's spot that's already been there. So got through that, made some friends. First day of spring practice, pull up, Kalamazoo. We have some Michigan people here. And I see the trucks, I grew up in Chicago, just taking all the snow off the turf. I'm like, it's cold out here. I put my shoulder pads on. I could see like this, you know, the cold air. I get out in the practice. In the first 45 minutes, I'm crushing it. I'm like, man. Get up on the line of scrimmage, running some route. I run this like 7-yard route on an angle. I'm running, and all of a sudden, all the sound goes away in my head, and I'm in slow motion. I'm like, until I was on the ground and feeling the cold turf, I just tore my hamstring again. No. First day of practice, 2 years, 2 hamstring tears. I go into this depression of drinking and activities that I shouldn't have been doing, and about 6 or 7 weeks later, I realized I got to get back to what I'm supposed to be doing. So I went back to my junior college and talked to my coach to see if he'd get me a scholarship at another school because my NCAA time was running out. So he got me a scholarship to a school called Mesa College in Grand Junction, Colorado. It's an NAIA school with different requirements for eligibility. And this school was like the Bad News Bears. You got guys that are like 50 playing, changed last names, flunked out of other schools, criminals. But they were a great football school, and they always got some guys into the NFL. So I did my first season, did okay. But I said, I wasn't quite 100%. I went back to Chicago, trained, got in the best shape of my life, returned the next year. And I remember I was on the track, and the pro scouts come for the seniors to see their time, you know, kind of look at, you know, what you physically look like, and they time you. And I was on this track, and I was wearing, you know, probably don't remember this. I don't know if you guys know what dolphin shorts are, those blue and white shorts. I'm probably the oldest guy in here, but these like silky shorts. And I have my tank top on, I'm on the track, and I'm like, here's my time to shine. And I run a blazing 40-yard dash, the fastest I've ever run in front of those pro scouts. Tumbling over the finish line, I just tore my other hamstring. 3 years, 3 hamstrings. But you know, I'm a smart guy, I'm just gonna keep going. So once again, depression, drinking, and I'm like, I made a decision at 13. I'm not gonna fail at this. Go back again to Chicago. This time, I get introduced to the secret vitamins. The secret vitamins are the vitamins that you take, and magically, as you work out, you grow a lot faster. So I returned to Grand Junction the next year. I changed positions, so I didn't have to run, play tackle then. And I was nearly 300 pounds. The equipment manager actually walked past me in the airport to pick me up. He didn't recognize me. Here's a picture of me back then. That's not Photoshop, don't worry. Don't worry, I know everyone has a hidden picture somewhere just like that, of some sort. But that's what I looked like back then. And so I get into camp, and I'm doing well again. Now here's a great thing, I don't have to really run full out because I'm playing tackle. And I'm like, wow, like this, I should have done this a long time ago. And these vitamins, I love these vitamins. So I'm in bed on a Saturday morning, and I wake up, and I don't want to go to practice. It was not like I was tired, I didn't want to go to practice, but as I laid there in bed, I had this moment of clarity that my passion for football was gone. And I was laughing, I remember laughing. I was like, I'm living my life based on a 13-year-old young man's decision, and I'm nearly 300 pounds and 24 years old. And as I laid there to just continue contemplating, all I ever wanted to do was be successful. But after 3 schools, 3 coaches, and 3 injuries, time had passed me by. I was living in an old paradigm. And when I laid there, I realized I had been moving up the ladder of success, realizing the ladder was on the wrong wall. And on that day, I took my gear, put it on my coach's desk, retired, and in that moment, I was released from all the pain and suffering I'd been going through. And in that moment, I realized I could have success in a different way. But what I had created was a toxic environment by a limiting belief that the only way I was going to be successful was through athletics. And I never stopped to evaluate what was I actually doing with my time. I was going for something that was no longer serving me, and it was painful. So my invitation as we go through this material today is to look at, in your life, what beliefs are you still holding on to that no longer serve you? What are the things you might be doing that are toxic? Because here's the thing. One of the beautiful things about the time cleanse is we stop, take a moment, and evaluate. This 24/7 connection doesn't allow the space for that in our regular life. Not many people are saying, hey Joe, do you want to stop everything you're doing? Let's spend all day and let's evaluate our life. It doesn't happen because we're getting pinged and dinged and all that stuff, and we're in this hypnotic trance. So today is a time for you to look at so you don't have to go through that pain, so you can compress time, so you can get better results, to look at, am I doing what I should be doing? And if you are, great, I'm just going to show you how to do it better. But my experience, about 99.9% of the time, you're going to see something, an activity, a belief. You're like, wow, I didn't realize that's eating so much of my time.